67 lives have been lost. The question is, who is to blame? Will someone stand up, accept responsibility, promise to set things right? Or will we continue to see this ugly passing the buck between political parties and authorities that we've seen all through the day today? Joining us on the show this evening, Dr. A.K. Walia, the Finance Minister of the Delhi government. With us in the studio, Vijinder Gupta, Delhi Pradesh BJP Chief and former Chairperson of the Standing Committee of the MCD, and a body that's come in for a lot of flack for being responsible for these deaths. With us also is Sanjay Kaul, President of People's Action, a body of RWAs, also a spokesperson of the BJP. We've also got with us Professor Romel Mehta, a Professor of Landscape Architecture, the School of Planning and Architecture. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. I want to put my first question tonight to Dr. Walia. Dr. Walia, what we've seen so far from the Delhi government is an attempt to pass the buck onto another person or onto another body. Are you going to tell all the viewers who are watching this broadcast tonight that this has nothing to do with the Delhi government? 67 people have died and no one in Delhi is responsible for this, sir.
Basically, the fact is that the building activity is controlled by the local bodies. And we are not trying to pass the buck. The plans are sanctioned by them. They have the powers to check unauthorized construction, and basically it is their job.
You're making the point that it is the responsibility of the local bodies to ensure that the laws are taken care of. And I want to understand this from you, Mr. Vijinder Gupta, that the MCD officials on the ground clearly did not do their job, which is why 67 people are now dead.
I just want to clarify, this is not the time to pass the buck, number one. Number two, yesterday in the evening, Mr. Walia said, and Chief Minister of Delhi said on your channel, due to the waterlogging on this area, this happened. Okay. Now they have changed their stand and talking about the MCD. Now they are politicizing the issue. So basically, when the 67 people are died there, they were died, and we are just talking about the politics.
Professor Gupta, let's leave the political parties aside for a moment. You tell our viewers who is to blame at the end of this. Will the murderers and killers be held accountable, or will everybody get away scot-free? Who, according to you as an expert, sir, is responsible for these deaths?
My name is Mehta. It's like this. I would wish that for a moment, which may extend to half a day, 1 week, we should actually, there are two aspects to it. One is the human part of it, which is the tragedy and the sorrow and the anger. And the other is the technical aspect of it, which relates to construction, which relates to bylaws, which relates to adherence to certain guidelines. Now, at the moment, what is actually happening is that there is such a lot of crisscrossing of comments that these two things are getting mixed up. So I would like to comment on the second aspect, and that is that as far as the immediate part is concerned, which is a very unfortunate tragedy, and unfortunately it seems to be acquiring a scale and size which normally one would not expect. But there were too many people who have died and so on. Now the immediate aspect of it, I would suggest, would be to immediately, first of course, take care of the situation, the debris at site. Number two, to have a closer look at the buildings which are in immediate or right adjacent to this building, because in many such cases they are supporting this building, and if you remove one, it's a problem. And the third thing that one should do at this stage would be to make a survey of the area around it, and if, wherever they find that this is likely to be happening, or this is on the verge of happening, of which there would be many, I'll explain that a little later, notices should be issued, and if possible, the people should be evacuated.